It seems to be divided into two parts. You spend the first half of your life trying to get away from home, and you spend the second half trying to find your way back. And with bulldozers and mortgages and banks and things like that, it's very hard to go back home. Very hard. I got a song about that. Surprise, huh? It's been many long years since I left my home in the valley where I was born, where the cool fall nights makes the wood smoke rise and the fox hunter blows his horn. I fell in love with a girl from the town. I thought that she would be true. I ran away to Charlottesville, and I worked in a sawmill or two. What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave the plow in the field to look for a job in the town? Now the girl ran off with somebody else. Taverns took all my pay. And here I stand where the old home stood before they took it away. What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave the plow in the field to look for a job in the town? Well, the north wind blows and the geese fly south. I stand here, my hat in my hand. I've lost my home, I've lost my way. I have no place in this land. What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave the plow in the field to look for a job in the town? That's for the old home place. I went back there about, it's been about 5 years ago now. My grandma and grandpa's house had been torn down. Part of their barn was still there. The silo where my dad made moonshine was still there. In fact, I crawled inside of it, and by golly, it still smelled like whiskey. I guess it's because it was so airtight. But anyway, it was a sad kind of situation, really. I went over to see my Uncle Jim. He was very old by then. And we sat out on his back porch. It was late September. It was a nice warm night. Leaves were beginning to turn. And I said, Uncle Jim, I was young, you used to sing a lot of good songs to slap your thighs when you sang. Would you like to sing some songs? No, he said, I don't sing anymore. I just listen. I said, what? I just listen. He said, I listen to the wind. I listen to the rain. I listen to the cars and trucks that go by on the highway. I listen to the birds. He said, you ought to stop and listen sometime. It's not bad. He died just a couple of months after that, around Christmas time. He died 1.5 miles from where he was born. There's not many of us who do that anymore. Just 1.5 miles. I got a song from my Uncle Jim. Lay down your weary song, lay down. Lay down the tune you hum and rest yourself 'neath the power of strings. No one can hope to strum. The world around earth to the clouds, and the clouds unbound by laws. The splashing rain like a banjo sang and asked for no applause. The last of leaves fell from the trees and clung to a young girl's hair. The branches bare like a cello played by the winds that have no care. Lay down your weary song, lay down. Lay down the tune you hum and rest yourself 'neath the power of strings. No one can hope to hum. That's from my Uncle Jim. Well, I'm going to end up this thing with a song about my brother Bud. Yeah, I know we fought a lot about whether I was in tune or not, and he always had the advantage. He could hear better than I could. Anyway, I wrote a song for him after he died. I've had 2 younger brothers, and they both died before I did. Sometimes I think it might be my grandma punishing me. Anyway, this song is for Bud. This is a song about a train and my brother Bud. Brother, sure do miss you so. Hey, 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 hey. Now, you get this, my brother's name, his real name was Emil Lee. But in the schoolyard, that got translated into Emily. So if you called him that, you had to fight. I called him Bud. Now, we grew up in a little town in Kentucky. Wasn't much going on there for two little boys, except the train came into town twice a day. The old L&N from Louisville down to Nashville in the morning, and from Nashville back up to Louisville in the afternoon. And whenever my grandma had a list of groceries she wanted us to walk in, pick up at Stackhouse's grocery store, we always finagled it, so we'd be there when that train came in. Brother, sure do miss you so. Hey, 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 hey. Now, when we got into town, we had to cross the railroad tracks. And when we got to the tracks, we got down on our hands and knees, put our ear down on that cold, hard steel, see if we could hear the train. If it were coming, you could hear it. You could hear it. Sounded something like this. Now, when we heard that sound, we ran right over to the railroad station. Sure enough, you look down that track, and pretty soon you see it coming down the line. Slamming on those air brakes, coming into the station, blowing off a head of steam. Then all you could hear was the engine bell. Sounded just like a church bell calling two little boys to worship. And we were right there. Sounded something like this. And there she was in all her glory. Black smoke belching out the chimney. Engineer sitting up there with his hat cocked on one side of his head, grinning like a hero. There was only one more thing my brother and I had to do. We had to make that magic sign. Engineer knew what we meant. He reached over and grabbed that whistle cord, played us a little tune on the train whistle. My grandpa told us that this was the only town where that engineer went through that he played that song on the train whistle. And the reason he said was that this engineer once had a sidetracked woman in this town, but she up and married on him. And he wants her to know with his train whistle that he's still blowing his whistle in case she's interested. Sounded something like this. Now, by now they'd unloaded the mail, put new mail on the train. Passengers got off, passengers got on. She was ready to roll on down the line. And let me tell you, when that train started, it started so fast that by the time it got to the county line, it was splitting rails. It was really fast. My grandpa told us this story about my Uncle Jim. He had to go down to Nashville for some reason or other. And he was a little late, and he ran up and he got on the first step of the train, turned around to kiss his wife, Lorena, goodbye, but the train had already started. And he ended up kissing the bull down on the Kentucky-Tennessee border. Now, my brother Bud, who was always asking embarrassing questions, said, "Grandpa, is that true?" My grandpa said, "Boy, have I ever told you a lie?" That ended the conversation. This is the way he took off. Well, that was our adventure for the day. We went down to Stackhouse's grocery, picked up the list of groceries for my grandma, and walked on home. Brother, sure do miss you so. Hey, 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 hey. That's from my brother Bud. Well, I'll do one more, and then is Clint still around? Okay, where are you, Clint? Oh, I see. Okay, this is a song about a hobo named Lost John. He was on a chain gang, according to the story. And one morning, when the chain gang lined up on the side of the highway where they were going to work, there were a couple of empty shackles there. And the foreman, who was on a horse with a rifle in the crouch of his arm, said, "Who belongs to those shackles?" And somebody said, "John." And the foreman said, "Where's John?" And somebody said, "He's gone, he's lost." This is a song about Lost John. Fastest man I ever seen was Lost John running through Bowling Green. No hat on his head, no shoes on his feet, begging the women for his bread and meat. Long gone. Oh, oh, Lordy, he's lost John. He's long gone. He's bound for Mexico. Had an old dog, his name was Will. He chased Lost John to the top of the hill. He didn't catch John, and he never will. That old dog is a-running still. long gone. Oh, oh, Lordy, he's lost John. He's long gone. He's bound for Mexico. Lost John sitting on the railroad track, waiting for the fast train to come back. Train came along, just skipping and a flying. John missed the cow catcher, but he caught the blind. Long gone. Oh, oh Lordy, he's lost John. He's long gone. Bound for Mexico. Lost John. Okay, Clint, come out of hiding. We need a good guitar player.
Turn around applause for Orville Murphy, everybody. Hey, Aaron, will you go on the soundboard for a second?
How do you want to fix the stage here? Can't-
Let me grab a microphone.
Okay. I hope you all notice how safe you are because I sang that gospel for my grandma. Saying everything is okay, you see. There's some things better than insurance policies. Should I stay right here or shall I move?
No, I think you stay right there.
Okay. I remember this guy when he was a kid.
Right? We met over at the other coffee shop.
Yeah, Victor's, yeah.
Over Victor's. That would mean he grew up. Right, boom.
You said sound like my wife. Before she died, we'd been married 62 years. We had different interpretations of why it lasted that long. I always thought it was because she found a good husband. And she said, no, it was because she was a third grade school teacher, and she learned very soon that little boys never grow up. There was something about that interpretation that I always was puzzled by. I never knew quite what. Oh, she was a tough one, I'll tell you. She was an artist. If you ever marry an artist, you wake up every morning to a different woman. One time at our 60th anniversary, I said, you know, we got to be careful this marriage doesn't get boring. I said, why don't we get a divorce? And then I'll come by at night and be your lover, and you can be my mistress, and the neighbors will look out their windows and we'll cause a scandal, and everything will become exciting again. And she thought about it for a while, and she says, okay, but remember, if we do that, you got to get to the back of the line again. That turned out to be a bad idea.
Check one, check two. Oh, ho, ho, ho. What key are we in, sir?
Huh?
What key are we in?
Well,
What would you like?
let's do a key in the key of A.
Okay.
You do a blues, an old time blues, huh?
Okay.
I got to make sure I got the right harmonica here. It's in the key of A. I woke up this morning feeling round my shoes. Tell me that baby got those old walking blues. Yeah, I woke up this morning feeling round my shoes. Tell me that baby got those old walking blues. Oh, now some folks say them old blues ain't so bad. Worst old feeling I most ever had. Yeah, some folks say them old blues ain't so bad. It's the worst old feeling I most ever had. Okay. That's leave this town if I have to ride the blind. Been mistreated, I don't mind dying. I'm gonna leave this town if I have to ride the blind. Yes, I've been mistreated, don't mind dying. Good job, Clint.
Nicely done, Orville.
Okay, why don't you do one of your songs, that's one of my favorites, Hallelujah by
Oh, sure.
Leonard Cohen.
Boy, oh boy.
Is that unfair to
Yeah,
ask?
that's not okay. Well, I'd like to wheel and deal with you if that's okay.
Yeah, all right.
So I'll play that song if you play an old Taj Mahal song with me, Cakewalk Blues in the key of C.
A C?
Yeah.
All right.
The people's key.
That's a good deal.
Okay.
Give me your D chord now. Okay. Now remember, I'm hard of hearing, so it takes a little while for it to soak in.
That's all right. I'm bullheaded, so it takes me a little while too.
Okay.
I had the blues so bad one time it put my face in a permanent frown. Well, now I'm feeling so much better. I could cake walk into town. I wanna go on a picnic in the country, mama, and stay all day. I don't care if I don't do nothing, just while my time away. Spin it around, Well, I woke up this morning feeling so good, you know I went back to bed. So throw your big leg over me, mama, I might not feel this good again. I had the blues so bad one time, put my face in a permanent frown. Well, now I'm feeling so much better, I could cake walk into town. I had the blues so bad one time, put my face in a permanent frown. But now I'm feeling so much better, you know I can cakewalk right straight back into town. Oh. Yeah, nicely done, sir.
Good job, man. You know, forget the hallelujah. I like that.
Right,
choice.
I know, right? It's good.
What else you got there?
Let's see. We'll stay in C. That's a good key.
See?
Yeah. Let's see. Bet you gone fishing all the time. Baby gone fishing too. I bet your life, your sweet wife is gonna catch more fish than you. Well, said many fish bites if you got good bait. Oh, here's a little tip that I would like to relate. A new fish bites if you got good bait. I'm a-going fishing, yes, I'm going fishing. My baby's going fishing too. Bet your baby brother riding you out of my mind, saying, can I go fishing with you? So I took him on down to the fishing hole. Now what do you think that he did do? Took a great big fish at the bottom of the pond. Now he's glad he went, 'cause he was real gone. New fish bites if you got good bait. I'm a-going fishing, yes, I'm going fishing. My baby's going fishing too. Play the blues, Orville. Bet you're gone fishing, yeah, now all the time. Saying, can I go fishing with you? Well, I took him on down to the fishing hole. Now, what do you think he did do? Took a great big fish out of the bottom of the pond. Now he's glad he went, 'cause he was real gone. New fish bites if you got good bait. I'm a-going fishing, yep, mama's going fishing. My baby's going fishing too. I'm going fishing, yes, I'm going fishing. My baby's going fishing too.
Good job.
Yeah.
You notice that both of the songs there have that line, I woke up this morning. It reminds me, have you ever heard the shortest blues song ever written?
Oh, what's that?
I didn't wake up this morning. What else you got on your
All right, I got something in the key of D.
Dog?
In dog.
Is it going to be a bluesy one?
It's going to be kind of a bluesy, westerny storytelling song.
Well, I'll decide what key to sing it in.
Okay.
In the key of C?
D.
D.
Dog. And Aaron, if you could be on the lookout for a capo over there, I'd love to. Sometime before the night's over to pull up a capo. Well, now. Met him on the cliffs of Twin Rocks, Oregon, I did. He was sitting on his bedroll looking just like Richard Brodigan. Thought he was an old man, but he wasn't 37. Said he'd been riding trains for 15 years. Oh, just drawing portraits to keep his belly full of beer. Looked to me like he had died and missed the plane to heaven. Well, he was a nice old guy for a younger man. Had a bottle of Mad Dog he held in his hand. Waved it around just to make his point. Well, I listened as he told his tales of wine and women and county jails. And we finished off that bottle and smoked half a joint. And he said, I came here to watch the sun disappear into the ocean. 'Cause it's been years since I'd smelled the salty sea. And he turned that bottle up and down. And I saw him lost and I saw him found. He said, I don't know what I've been looking for. Maybe me. Maybe just looking for me. I told him too I'd been traveling around, yep, living out of my van from town to town, playing for tips and whatever records I could move. I don't figure I'll be making it big. It's hard to get rich off a tour of coffee house gigs, you know? He said, yeah, but ain't it a blessing to do what you want to do? And I told him I pulled off here to watch the sun disappear into the ocean. 'Cause it's been years since I smelled the salty sea. And he turned that bottle up and down. And I saw him lost and I saw him found. And I said, I don't know what I've been looking for. Maybe me.
Go ahead, I want to hear this.
All right. I kind of. So as the story goes, it was getting kind of late. I was thinking about heading down the interstate. So I offered him a lift to San Francisco Bay. He said, nope, I think I'm just gonna sit here and rest. Maybe wait on the Tokyo, Montana Express. Hell, I might just lay here and dream my life away. I'm gonna sit right here and watch the sun disappear into the ocean. It's been years since I'd smelled the salty sea. And I'll turn that bottle up and down. And you can see me lost, you can see me found. Met him on the cliffs of Twin Rocks, Oregon, sitting on his bedroll.
I've never heard that song before.
It's an old Sean Mullins song.
Is it?
Yeah, I stole it fair and square. But I've traveled down Highway 101 and
What's the name of it?
It is called Twin Rocks, Oregon.
Twin Rock, Oregon.
Yeah. Okay, well, I got another one in D if you want to try it.
Okay, let's
Okay.
try it.
This one has the capo. Was that you or me? That was me. I totally blamed you. I'm sorry, Orville. Harmonicas don't ever make that kind of sound. Do you get a lot of ridicule for being a harmonica player, Orville?
There are a lot of jokes.
Right? A lot of jokes? What's a good harmonica joke?
Well, Bill Kirsten, who played the Telecaster, incidentally,
Uh-huh.
he's the one who, I heard him tell a joke about a harmonica player. He said when he first started his band, they always played all of their songs in a flat key so that the harmonica player couldn't play along. I told him he was a smart aleck and that I had a F flat.
The security and the guitar gets like, I'm gonna have to take this. And I was like, really? You have to take my harmonica for Homeland Security reasons? Yes. Oh, that's the best reason. My harmonica was against Homeland Security. That's how vicious it was as an instrument, Orville.
Well, it's like, that's why my grandma said don't play blues with it,
Don't play blues.
It's a dangerous instrument.
It's a dangerous instrument.
It's led a lot of men astray, especially old men like me.
Orville, when I first booked you over at Victor's Coffee Shop all those years ago, I told you that the show started at 8, went to 10. You said, I'll play from 8 to 9, but if I don't get back by 9, my lady starts to think I'm out gallivanting on a Friday night.
That's right.
It was at that point in time I knew we were going to be friends for a long,
Yeah.
long time.
You remind me, I play with a partner sometime who's a bachelor. And now that I'm a bachelor, I've been trying to make a deal with him that I'd show him how to grow old if he'd show me how to be a bachelor. And he said, absolutely not. All his stuff is copyrighted. So maybe you and I can work a deal.
That's
although
right,
you're not
absolutely.
A bachelor. You're still young enough to remember what it was like.
That's right,
That's right, yeah. I can't remember anything you're supposed to do, What's an opening line? Is your husband dead? I mean, I tried that and it didn't work. Didn't work.
What do you do? What do you do, right?
Yeah, what do you do? No, well, she might. I don't know. That may be a leading question.
It may be a lead. Around here, you can't even just ask a person what's their sign. You have to know what's the rising and what's the, like, what the moon is in. It's so much more complicated than it used to be, I think.
That was one thing about being in the Navy when I was a kid. You only had there, in order to start a courtship, you only had to ask how much in 6 different languages.
Oh my God, we better start playing guitar, and this is how musicians get in trouble, precisely. We stop playing and then we start talking. Okay, here's a song about a bachelor and about a boy and about a dog. And I just learned it the other week. Written by some new friends of mine that I met down in California. All right, D. is Sam and I'm the family dog. I lie around sleeping all day long. While Trevor's at school, I'm home alone. And I run to the door when Trevor gets home. And he hugs my neck and he says my name. He throws the ball for a while and he's off again. And it's just a few minutes of his time, and I'm just another stop along the way. But those few minutes he's all mine are the best few minutes of my whole day. My name is Trevor and I'm in the 6th grade. My dad is named Ben and he works long days. After school, I'm home alone, and I run to the door when my dad gets home. And he ruffles my hair and we talk about stuff. He makes me dinner and I go to bed. And it's just a few minutes of his time, and I'm just another stop along the way. But those few minutes he's all mine are the best few minutes of my whole day. Ben and I'm a single dad. My father's in a home and he's getting real bad. Well, I go to see him with Trevor and Sam, but most of the time he don't know who I am. But sometimes there is light in his eyes. Says my name, we talk about stuff, and it's just a few minutes of his time, and I'm just another stop along the way. But those few minutes he's all mine are the best few minutes my whole day. Lost my mind, and I can't tell what's real most of the time. But There's a boy named Trevor and a man named Ben, and I've seen them before, but I'm not sure when. And they always bring a dog named Sam. He licks my face and lays his head in my hand, and it's just a few minutes of his time, and I'm just another stop along the way. With those few minutes, he's all mine, are the best few minutes of my whole day. My name is Sam and I'm the family dog. I lie around sleeping all day long. Nicely done, Orville. Thanks.
What else you got on your list there?
That's a cool song. That's right. That's all right. It's one of those cry songs. My name is Sam, and it's by a unsigned duet called Berkeley and Hart. Berkeley Hart, the two last names of the artists, out of Northern California, and just hardworking folk musicians. I got to meet them when I was down in California, and we trade songs, and we asked if I could bring that song up north first before they got here. So, a pretty song, but look them up online. Berkeley Hart, they're just great songwriters, performers.
Okay, it's time, I guess, be closing. How about a John Hardy, sort of a old mountain kind of song?
Yeah.
It's in the key of E, I think. John Hardy was a desperate little man. He carried 2 guns every day. He shot a man on the West Virginia line. You ought to seen John Hardy run away, oh Lordy. You ought to seen John Hardy run away. John Hardy ran to the West Virginia line. He thought that there he'd be free. But out stepped the sheriff and he took him by the hand. John Hardy, won't you walk along with me? Oh boy, John Hardy, won't you walk along with me?
Nicely done, Orville.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Orville Murphy tonight, everybody.
And this guy's Clint McCune, in case you don't know.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. That was great fun.
That was good. Man, it's nice playing with you, Orville. Yeah. Yeah, good playing with you.
It was really fun.